Hello and welcome to the Letters to the Living Dead. We really do need a theme song. You need something
I
like
did
some.
have a theme song. You didn't add it on here.
What was it?
It was Lecrae. I'll find you.
Oh, yeah.
That
I got
is.
you. I got you. We'll play that at the end. I can make that work out at the end, but you're going to be hit for it.
Good.
That's why we didn't do it. So this is Letters to the Living Dead. I'm your host, DJ Gonzo. I keep things kind of moving along here, but what's important is the people on this panel. You have your two originals. And if I say original, God was not going to make two of these guys. They're very special. We got with the dark hair, glasses. That's the living dead girl. You know her. She, if you know her, you've heard her. And then on this side over here, we got JP. That would be to your right. He's not really crazy. He just looks crazy, so it validates him. We have Dusty joining us. We have Josh joining us, and we have Marcy. Marcy will be coming on. So this show here,
This one over here.
we got
Ouch!
Cece.
Right.
Cece.
Wow.
Got her daughter Cece here. Also, I was going boom, boom, boom. I didn't go back to the topic. Excuse me. So, anyways, I want to throw this out first. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. If you're sensitive, you've been through something, maybe you don't want to watch our show, listen to our show. Maybe you do. Maybe it might help because I think everybody on this has been triggered in some sort of way, and they're here to share their stories. Recently, Live Dead Girl coerced me into making a video that everyone was making very nicely, very beautiful with their thugs on their side and stuff, and she wanted to shoot it realistically.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go share this.
And it was so realistic that well, let me
got
just
some attention.
let me just play this for you here. I'll tell you about it as we go. It was kind of hard to make. Like this ain't us. Like everybody's been through stuff. She's been through stuff, but she wanted to spark a conversation and bring the show back. So we this ain't us. Like, I'm going to we just have it right here.
How do I share it from here?
All right, here we go. This is what we put on TikTok and extra reels.
Write a post.
It's like at 89,000 views or whatever. We noticed a lot of people had different ideas about it. Like they would jump in it and go, "Oh, this is what I want" and stuff. And you're like, "Really? This is what you want?" You know what I mean? Some of them just wanted because they see two people doing something that's hard, and you know what I mean. Anyways, our panel will touch on this in their own stories. Let's go ahead and let's just make this play.
So you never say it gets said again.
So what made you fall in love with a sinner like me?
But you will never know what tomorrow might bring.
I bring you the tears and I know it's gotta sting.
When you beg me to stay after telling me to leave.
If I could take back the words I would.
You would change if you could.
I kiss the tears off your face.
I know you're no good, but my love for you won't die.
You still love a sinner
And I don't know why. So you never say it gets said again.
So what made you fall in love with a sinner like me?
But you will never know what's
There we go. Wait, that go bye. So I kind of triggering stuff, so bringing up a conversation about it. I always get a little nervous on these shows. We do deal with a lot of hard stuff. We're not professionals, none of us, but a lot of us are professional, some more than others, at being mental. Sometimes it's not what happens to you, but sometimes it's kind of a gift. We talk about various aspects of it, and pretty much that's it. You know, sometimes we relate it with music and vice versa. There's always a memory of Michael Hopkins, and rest in peace to Cold Shit. Too many people gone too soon from drugs.
Happy birthday,
stuff.
Tim Williams today.
Happy birthday, Tim Williams, Inside the Dead. It's his birthday today. Which was here to celebrate it. That's another show. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over. JP Living Dead Girl, you guys do your thing.
Let me just jump right in. When I saw this TikTok, I immediately was like, I want to do this. And when I do this, I want to go extreme with it. When people see this video, I want people to look at it and to go either one or two ways to be like, oh, Wow, or what in the flying fuck? And I definitely got that response, both responses. I really, really thought I would get more response in the what in the fuck is going on. But in reality, I got more responses in, wow, look how much they love each other. And wow, they're so perfect. And by no means am I saying we're not, because that is literally just a video of us portraying a act. So don't get me wrong by what I'm saying. I went to an extreme for a reason. It took us hours to make that video. But why are people so fucked up in the head that they think that this is what relationships should be? And like, this is normal.
I think it's that Harley Quinn and Joker aspect that they've put that out there so much that that's what they think.
And we got a lot of, by no means in that video was I an aggressor in that video. Gonzo was the aggressor. Everybody that sees that video can see that he is the aggressor. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Okay, we got a lot of, I'm sure she whoops his ass. She made her husband look like a bitch all over the fucking internet. A lot of harsh comments like that, and we're just like, how the fuck did I make him look like a bitch?
See, I just took it completely a totally different way as art. I didn't even see what these people are talking about. I saw that you had a vision. I saw that you liked a song, and I saw that you acted. That's what I saw.
And that's awesome. And seeing you got that aspect of it. Like, and I don't feel like a lot of people did.
And and everybody's talking, well, I was abused. Okay, well, 99% of Americans have been, and it sucks. But you know what? I was almost killed. I almost watched my daughter be killed. I mean, it's out there. But did I get triggered or have any type of feelings towards that? None whatsoever. Absolutely not. I enjoyed watching you guys basically do a love story. That's what I saw. That was my take on it.
What do you guys think over there?
You're just sitting
Like,
there.
why do you guys think, like, so many people think that this is normal? Like, I mean, she pointed out the Harley Quinn and Joker aspect of it, and that's a lot of the younger generations. But even in the comments, like, it was a lot of people like my age group and even Dusty's age group and Michael's age group that was just like, oh, this is so perfect. And like, and I, by no means, I get the aspect of the whole fighting and getting through and always sticking together and in the end making it work. Yes, I get that aspect, and that's how a love story works. But that by no means is what was portrayed in that video.
Or was it meant to be portrayed?
Right.
And see, I see the thing that I saw that people could take away from it would have been, okay, so the reason why people would have reacted so positively towards like the negative aspect of it was because they're not seeing the actual abuse, they're not seeing the torment, they're not seeing the hardships that that each other putting each other through. The case may be, they're seeing it as, well, this person's fighting this hard to keep me around. This person's fighting, it's just they've got that same blind eye that everybody who is in the situation keeps, just because they want a happy ending at the end of the road.
And that's a very good point. But when's a healthy time to say enough's enough and to draw that line? Everybody's silent on that one.
As soon as it starts.
We got comments we can't
see. Realistically, it's as soon as everyone starts, really. As soon as it starts is when you should be like, hey, that red flag popped for a fucking reason, not just for decoration. Let me actually assess the situation and see if I need to bounce.
Some people are addicted to those red flags, though, man.
What's your comment?
And then back to your question, like why you said why would so many people be up in arms about your video, and then you got other people on the other hand, they're like, oh, this is beautiful. Well, for the people that are up in arms, they probably see some of the negative in the video in themselves, and that's how they gave their opinion of it, because maybe that's how they viewed themselves.
It's very plausible.
It's a good point.
Facts, though. That is fucking facts. 'Cause I could definitely see a lot of people taking that away from it, just being like, man, finally somebody's showing up for me, finally something I can relate to, because a lot of people think that just because we're in the modern age of society to where we have technology literally in our pockets to look up any information we want, we're automatically connected with everybody better. When in all actuality, I feel technology, we've become to the point where now it's, well, how can you sustain my online image? How can you help promote that over what we have, right in front of us?
Right.
Man, you said some stuff just now.
Yeah,
What's your take on this,
I
Josh?
don't like to tell stories. I don't like to tell lies.
What's my what?
What's your take on this?
On the video.
On the video, like, what was your take when you were sent it and you seen it? What was like your first thought on it?
I was honestly, hold on, man. Like, I'm kind of desensitized to stuff because I've been through a lot of shit. But like, when I seen the video, I was all like, this man must really love her, because ain't no way that I'm getting up on there to do that. And that's sweet. That's what I thought of the video. Honestly, like, I try to look behind the curtain. You hear me? I try to look behind the curtain. I ain't trying to be all up in the mix.
Thanks, son.
You're like, why is this man gonna put himself at risk being criticized all over America for a fucking TikTok for this damn woman?
He must love you. It must be good to feel loved, huh?
Right? Absolutely.
I had some stats for you guys.
Well, hold on. Another comment on there was, and like that nobody knew, Gonzo didn't know, Sarah didn't know, nobody knew like my whole point of doing this whole thing. Like, I had a plan of bringing the show back and bringing awareness and everything, but I could not like bring anything out, because if anybody knew my plan, then nothing was going to go as planned, and I wasn't going to get the take on it that I needed. So somebody in the comments said that instead of glorifying domestic violence, that we should have brought awareness to it. And that was actually my whole point of doing the videos, so we could ultimately do this show and bring awareness to domestic violence. And with that, I'm going to hand over to DJ Gonzo so he can lay out some statistics.
I was trying to lay out a data. All right. So statistics here.
Did you say you're out?
So what?
What was that?
I thought he said he was trying to lay out in bed.
A dab.
Yeah. So check this out right here. On average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. During 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million men and women.
Did he say every 20? Did he say every 20 seconds?
Per minute. 20 people per minute.
Every 20 people per what?
Oh.
Every minute, 20 people are abused by their partner.
Every minute, 20 people are abused by their partner.
So that's 20 divided into 60. That's like 3 people a second.
Jesus.
Oh.
That's insane.
That is a lot.
How many people die?
I was trying to find that. I haven't come to that. But what I did get out of that was The presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of homicide by 500%. Yeah, I thought that said 50 the first time I read it.
What?
Greg yelling at you?
No.
Oh,
Man.
Also, intimate partner violence accounts for 15% of all violent crime.
Damn.
19% of domestic violence involves a weapon.
I got a domestic violence story. We got a couple of them.
No, y'all.
I got some where I was the aggressor too. Well, not fully the aggressor, but where I retaliated as the aggressor.
Right.
Hi. Hey.
I would like to state that I'm kind of happy for human race as far as, you know, finding a silver line. You know, it's only like 19% that involves a weapon. So there's some hope. There's some fucking hope.
Yes.
Right?
I'm actually lucky I did not go to prison for attempted murder or actually murder my son's father. He was sitting on top of me when my oldest son was about 1.5 years. I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, and he was choking the shit out of me. And I reached up on the counter to grab something to just hit him to get him off of me. And I ended up grabbing a pair of brass knuckle type things that had double-sided blades on it. It was just for show. It was just on the counter. And I just reached up there and I grabbed it and I stabbed him in the chest and I almost killed him. Huh? I should have killed him. I don't give a fuck. The motherfucker ruined my life. Like, if I have one regret in this world, it's the fact that I did not kill him, and I do not give two fucks about that. And everybody that's watching this can call me heartless. He ruined my life. They don't know my story, so they can judge that, and that's okay. They can feel the way they want. I will validate their feelings. I don't need them to validate mine. This is my story, not theirs.
I take it that everybody in this panel has experienced like some type of domestic violence like that, whether they just seen it or they've been through it, whichever side. Am I right?
Thomas wants to know, is there a statistic for suicide as a result to domestic violence?
I actually have that. I'll go to it in a second. I just wanted to say this one before I veered off the stage. It says 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have been victims of severe physical violence, example, beating, burning, strangling by an intimate partner in their lifetime. That's crazy. 1 in 4 and 1 in 7.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 10.
What is that statistic for?
A statistic for having been victims of severe physical violence, like beating, burning, strangling, stuff like that. And it says 1 in 10 women have been raped by an intimate partner, but the data is not available on male victims. So obviously, a lot of men aren't going to be like, "Hey, that woman raped me." So
most male victim rapes go unreported.
Right. Okay, so let's go to that other thing though.
Suicide statistics.
There's more comments.
Yeah,
That was Thomas.
There we go. All right. Studies show that survivors of domestic violence, including dating violence, have higher than average rates of suicidal thoughts, with as many as 23% of survivors having attempted suicide, compared to 3% among those who have not experienced domestic violence. So it's a 20% uptick on the people that have attempted it after domestic violence.
What is the suicide rate, or what is the PTSD rate of domestic violence victims that attempt suicide or something like that? Yeah.
That's probably way too detailed.
We'll get with it, Mr. Google.
Calm it down.
We need statistics. Oh, sorry.
It
What was that?
I put what on there. It's gonna come
Here's
back.
here's my take. Here's my opinion. I feel we need to not call them. We need not to call ourselves victims anymore. We are survivors. We have gotten through the situation that's dealt us. Come up the
I
side
like it.
stronger.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm a fucking survivor. I'm a goddamn warrior. I'm an Irish goddamn warrior, and I'm not gonna die. Not by anybody else's hand.
Let him go, bro.
That's just
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And the thing that people keep forgetting is that everybody has that inside of them. Each and every one of us. Each and every one of us have that to be able to be the best, but we all keep falling back into our habits. Hence why all these statistics keep piling on top of each other and becoming worse and worse. But we can stop that as soon as we start bringing, like we're trying to do today, we can stop that as soon as we bring the attention to it, as soon as we're having a conversation like we are now, you know, where we can air it out, where we can get that shit talked about. People can feel safe discussing the situations.
Why do you think it's so hard to break the cycle?
Grow.
Why do you think it's so hard to break the
That's a
cycle
good
when
question.
people continue to go back? Like, because people
It's an
do break the
addiction.
cycle. People do break the cycle and they do leave
Exactly.
and they do kick that person out of the house and they do separate for months on end and even possibly years. But at the end of the day, they ultimately let that person come back and the cycle continues.
Because
Why?
it's an addiction.
hard
It's an
to break?
addiction.
She right. She right.
Say that again. Say that again.
It's an
Say that
addi-
again. Say that again.
Who, me? It's an addiction. And
Yes.
with any addiction, you can stop it, you get off it, you get on the wagon, and people fall off and go back. And
Exactly.
and so for some people, no matter how miserable they are, no matter how hard it is, it's also what they know. And either they were raised with it, or
Bro,
they just,
That's
I was
what
about to
gonna
just
say.
hit that subject, about to hit a lot of people in their feelings, but it all stems from the fact of the way they were fucking raised.
or maybe you
Facts.
just stumbled upon it too, and you don't realize it. And by the time you do realize what's going on, you're stuck and you just don't know another way. And you're just, bottom line, regardless if you were raised with it or stumbled upon it, it becomes a way of life and it's an addiction. And you get to where you're at your bottom and you're just like, okay, I almost died. And for some people it's not enough, for some people it is. And even if you do get out of it and you think that it's over, I'm not even gonna lie, my daughter's father never touched me. He used to just pick and prod at me constantly until I would beat him up. Actually, he never laid a hand on me till the day I told him I was pregnant, and he beat the shit out of me. And ever since after that, he beat me up all the time. When my daughter was 1, he tried to kill her because my paternity test was 99.99. So apparently she wasn't his because it wasn't 100%. And I watched him beat the fuck out of her, drag her up and down the street, smash her face in a car, body slam her on the ground, a 1-year-old baby. And the more I tried to get close to her, the more he fucking hurt her. I got restraining orders on him. I did major court cases. I got a lifetime restraining order against him. I was away from him for 10 years. And then I was going to move out of state. And my daughter hadn't seen her family, and I felt really bad. So before I left to leave the other state, I decided to let them talk again, or the family, just for her to meet them before I took her away and never came back. And he happened to be there and with a new girlfriend. And I had seen that he had changed his ways. I had already kept up on him. My best friend was a DOC officer, so I knew everything he was doing. And just like that, the blink of an eye, this guy showed me so much love and attention and so much remorse that I slipped right back into his fingers after 10 years of not even seeing him, after watching what he did to my daughter, which I wanted nothing to do with him. And within a month, he was right back where he was and trying to touch us and get crazy. It's just that simple, and it's so hard. And I don't even know how else to go about even conveying for people that it's a cycle, just like a drug, like a cigarette, like anything.
I got another statistic for you guys. You guys are talking about people that go back. What I did find was a little different from that. What I found was that 20% of the homicide victims that were involved in a domestic violence, 20% of the time it wasn't even the victim themselves of domestic violence. 20% of the time it's a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a person intervened, law enforcement responders, or bystanders that get killed. 20%
Wait,
of
start
it
over.
in a domestic violence. How much
I'm
did
just
we
gonna
say
jump in that
domestic
too.
violence was? 23%? Well, 20% of that 23% isn't even the victims of domestic violence getting killed. It's somebody intervening, well, where be it a cop or a person, a family member. So I thought that was rather interesting. Thomas, to throw out there, is there any mental health conditions that would have a higher chance of being associated with domestic violence?
Schizophrenia.
I'm gonna check that out, and I'll come back to you with that. You guys are doing fine. This is running smooth. Like, you guys are doing hella good. All right. What else were you guys taking this?
See, you for sure right about that schizophrenic thing, because you never know. If you suffer than that, you never know when that switch is coming.
Yup.
Never know. Because, hey,
That
real talk.
I
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. My bad.
Because real talk, when that switch comes, like, you a completely different person. You don't know that it's coming, and it's just gone. And from an instant, you could be all lovey-dovey, and then next thing you know, you trying to kill a motherfucker, and there ain't nothing that you can do to stop it. They say the pills work. That's bullshit. That shit don't work.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm so called out right now.
What'd you say?
The pills do help her. She's not violent towards me. She's yeah, I don't know.
I've been diagnosed with 7 different personalities. I'm on medication. That does help me. If I'm not on medication, I'm a fucking disaster. I know JP up in the corner has seen me unmedicated. He can vouch for it. It is a disaster. This one has seen me kind of unmedicated. It's kind of train wreck.
I've seen JP unmedicated.
Dusty has seen me through a little bit of times when I've been unmedicated. She can tell you guys a little bit about my roller coaster rides. So yes, I have to say medication does help me. I'm a huge advocate for my own mental health, and I have to be because the mental health people here suck ass. All bullshit aside, just a couple weeks ago, I had to call them because they changed my meds. I had to stop my meds because my son ended up in the hospital in December. And we were in Vegas for like freaking 2 weeks and my meds were at home. Well, I can't just restart my meds. They have to be regulated, started and tapered up and everything else because of the type of meds they are. So I kept calling the doctors and telling them I need to come in. I need to be put on my meds. This is not okay. Y'all need to get me on my meds before I lose my shit. So literally, finally, like 3 weeks ago, they finally got me in to see the doctor. They put me on this medication. They put me on, Cymbalta, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what they put me on.
Does that not make you suicidal?
Made my kids suicidal.
Bro, that shit fucked me up. Within 48 hours of being on that med, I had like this huge cloud over my head. I wanted to end my life. The entire world was fucking over, and it was just everything was fucking doomed. I shit you not. This is how fucking whacked our medical system is out here. I called the medical clinic that I go to here for mental health, and I tell them like, hey, I'm having an adverse reaction to the Cymbalta that the doctor put me on. I need to be seen on an emergency basis. This is not okay. told them what was going on, and this stupid ass person says, "Do you have an active suicide plan?" We just
What?
lost everybody.
An active suicide plan?
You guys.
Oh, they said, "Do you have an active suicide plan?" I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? I need an active suicide plan." They said, "Well, if you don't have an active suicide plan, we don't consider you to be in crisis, and you can see the doctor at the end of the week."
Shut the front door.
I fucking swear to God on my goddamn life, bro.
I believe you, but oh my God.
So I had to go the entire week. And then come the end of the week for my appointment, they never called me, and I had to call them and get on their ass. And they're like, "Oh, well, their doctor's running behind." So like 2 hours after my appointment, I finally get onto the phone with the doctor, and she puts me on Abilify, and like immediately, like within days, I start feeling better. But now I have a complaint going on. My case manager is filing a complaint with his supervisor and everything else. But I'm literally classified SMI, and they are not legally allowed to treat me like this. Like, I know they can get away with treating normal people certain ways, but when you have a classification under a certain state signed by mayors and judges of states, they're not allowed to get away with treating you a certain way. And they literally like, "You ain't got a suicide plan, you're not in crisis." And I'm like, so what the fuck?
What exactly is a suicide plan? Because there's been 3 events in my life where I was either about to attempt suicide or I was like thinking of it. Okay, two times it was trying to hang myself, and beyond making the noose and going to the place where I was going to hang myself, there was no plan about it. And the third time was putting a gun to my head and sitting there talking to God. And the only reason why I didn't kill myself is because I felt like God was telling me not to, and my friend walked in. So
To me, that would be considered a suicide plan, but I'm not sure if this fucking mental health place here would actually consider that a suicide plan, because this place is fucking whack.
they can suck a mental health dick as far as I'm concerned.
Then they share in your plan that you plan to feed your dog or not feed your dog, and they're like based it upon that. Are they coming back or no?
Like, are they taking care of their necessities? Are they gonna come back or no? Like, dude, no, get this shit, dude. So they told me, they said, "Well, if you get worse in the meantime, call the crisis hotline." So, dude, I was the rudest fucking bitch ever. And I mean, you guys know me. That's not really that hard for me. But I fucking told him, I was like, wait, call the crisis hotline. And I told him the phone number. I was like, and they're like, yeah. I said, so the same hotline that put my uncle on hold when he called them with a gun in his mouth, and they put him on hold to answer another call, and he blew his fucking brains out. And they're like, wait, what? I said, yeah, I won't be calling that hotline.
Uh-oh. What's that noise?
That's insane. I have a question.
What's going on?
Yes.
Back to the domestic violence thing. Who here has it been ingrained in them from an early age that, of course you think that right now you know the facts and it's not acceptable, but who here has like grown up like basically having it ingrained in them that it is acceptable because it happens? Not that it's a good thing, but that you see it so often that you're just kind of used to it.
Yeah, I saw it a lot.
So
growing
what?
up.
Domestic violence? What? So like, if you see like a couple fighting on the street, like don't say nothing because it just happens and it's normal, and just leave it alone.
Yeah, how many people go through that? Like, have y'all? I'm just asking y'all, but like in general, how many people do you think just pass that by? Like, oh, that's not my business, type thing.
Oh, I see it all the time. All the time.
That's the way we were raised.
Yeah.
Yeah, the business. Yeah.
That's
And
right.
also because that should get you killed real quick. That motherfucker kill you.
Fucking facts.
Yeah, there's ain't no
Fucking Disney movies are domestic violence. If you think about it.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, Flintstones. Flintstones are banned in my house. My children are not allowed to watch the Flintstones.
All that.
Because he comes in screaming. Wilma, look at that.
Because Fred is rude as fuck. He expects Wilma to have food on the table by the time he gets home. The way he talks to her, the way he treats her, and then the way he treats Barney. We don't treat our friends that way.
Right?
My children will not watch the Flintstones because my children will not be taught that that's how you treat your spouse, whether you're with a man or a female. That's not what you expect out of your spouse, and you do not treat your friends that way. That show is not allowed in my house. And my
never
parents think
realized
I'm
that.
absolutely absurd for it.
I ain't never realized that. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
A lot of people
So,
don't
so in your
realize-
mind, what you're saying is like Fred's just smacking Wilma up like on the daily, right?
I can't say he smacks her. He doesn't really smack her on the show, but dude, he's very verbally abusive and aggressive. He's constantly screaming at her. He's constantly putting her down. He doesn't spend time with his daughter. He's a horrible father, dude. He's a horrible friend. Like, no, dude.
He
Like,
abuses the animals.
he abuses the animals. Like, poor Dino cowers down and fucking runs away. Like, no.
That's the dinosaur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dino.
He's smacking the brontosaurus shit out of Dino. You know.
When y'all are done
original
with this
Purple
show, go
Dinosaur.
put on some Flintstones and go watch a couple episodes and send me a message. And yeah, tell me what you think.
Betty was
Nah, man, I used to like that show. No, I don't like it no more. That's messed up.
So same with the Looney Tunes.
Now.
right.
Watch the Looney Tunes. Go back and watch original Looney Tunes. That is racist. It's violent. It's bad news. Bugs Bunny is not good.
It is funny as shit though.
It's, I mean, it is great, but I mean, if you,
Shit,
I mean, you know what? As a kid, you don't even think about that shit. I sure didn't. I was just watching. I'm a nanny, and I was just watching it with my daycare kids, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And they go, "Yeah, we don't let our kids watch that." And I'm like, "Well, I can see why. I mean, I was raised on it. I couldn't wait for Saturday mornings, but now it's like, holy shit."
Yeah.
Man, y'all are like single-handedly picking my childhood apart. Like,
Right?
I should never ask the question I asked earlier. I feel like
Jetson's cool. Like Jetsons worked out.
Yeah, Jetsons were pretty damn cool.
The Scooby Doo and them pot smokers. With them Doobie snacks.
you say the Jetsons. That
Yeah,
woman snatched Mr. Jetson's money every day. He was a weakling. He had to have been.
That's because she beat him behind.
He was a
the
jellyfish.
She wasn't snatching his money. She was doing personal favors.
What does jellyfish have to do with it?
Yeah, like
Because he was spineless. He didn't have. He
Oh.
didn't have a spine.
okay.
He just
I was
randomly
scared
said
to ask.
jellyfish. I was like,
No, I called him a jellyfish. I said a jellyfish.
oh, okay.
All right. Anybody
The
else got
Malcolm
anything to
X,
talk
yeah.
about towards this domestic violence stuff?
Or any burning.
Or any burning
Sensations.
desires to share a story or anything else? Or
My first memory is of domestic violence.
My only.
did you say your only memory is domestic violence?
My very first memory is of domestic violence.
Oof.
Like
That's
I was talking to my mom one day, and like what started the conversation is when I was like 2.5 years old. Like I was all like, "Mom, did we have like this giant bear that like came from a carnival, and I used to sit on it when I was a baby?" And she said, "There's no way that you remember that." And I was all like, "No, I clearly have a vivid memory of being sat on that bear and watching my dad smash your head into the pictures up and down the hallway and then dragging you to the bathroom and trying to drown you in the bathtub." And she was all like, "There's no way you remember that." I was all like, "Is that real?" She said, "Yeah, that really happened."
Wow.
wow.
Damn.
Damn.
Sorry, I didn't need to. I want to take it to a dark place, but yeah.
No,
No.
No.
he did not
That's
apologize.
the show's for, bro.
I get, yeah. And I mean, And people don't think that, kids know what's going on, especially like I'm told all the time that, well, I wasn't in the same room with them or I was outside, they were in the
They were
house.
sleeping.
Yep, that too, but they still know,
Like, bro, you're screaming. If your neighbors can
Yeah.
fucking hear you and the cops are getting called, your damn kids can fucking hear you.
right?
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember being a kid.
Bro,
talk about the
I
kids
remember
thing.
one time my son, okay, so I haven't always been a good mom. Like, it is what it is. We all have a past. My ex was very abusive, and my son grabbed my daughter one time by her hair and threw her off the couch and got on top of her and was choking her. And I told him, I said his name, and I was like, we can't choke our sister. We don't choke people. And he looked me smack in the face and he says, why not? Daddy does it all the time.
Yep. Well, that's like, I'm not calling them out, but
Right. That's why I didn't say names either. Like,
my job right now, we were reading a book, a Dr. Seuss book. God, what book is it? But it says that you can be happy, glad, or mad in the Dr. Seuss book, the rhyming book. And I babysit a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the little boy pointed to the sad person. First of all, 3 years old tells me that these are emotions. I was like, what? Okay, wow. And then says that the mom or his mom is the sad emotion, his dad's the mad emotion, and I'm the glad emotion. And I said, well, what emotion are you? He said, I'm like you, Dusty. He goes, I'm happy. And how that's a 3-year-old. Blew my mind.
aww.
Dang.
You talk about
I mean,
like
that's pretty intense that he,
really messed up,
that
especially when it affects the kids.
Okay, so there was a question, and the question was, how many cases of abuse, domestic violence are centered around
Veterans.
veterans? And immediately when I typed it in, it says, in one fair quality study, 68,406 women veterans seek. Wait, hold on. Never mind. That's not it. Let me keep talking. Just kidding, guys.
Man, y'all done struck a nerve
Here
with
we
me
go. Why?
because you talked about how it affects kids and what she just said about the emoji things or whatever. Because like I don't know how many times. Like my mom was in a relationship when I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. Like I don't know how many times I had to go to school like tired in the morning because like due to alcohol, like they would go out or whatever, or he would go get drunk and then he would come back to the house and then like every night, like clockwork, around like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, this dude would just start in on it and fucking screaming and calling my mom every name in the book, smacking my mom and shit, pulling a gun out, waving it at her. Like several times I tried to stop it and like he pistol with me. And like I'd watch my mom get her ass whipped up and down the hallway or thrown on the bed. And then eventually it got to the point where it pissed me off so much and I was so angry that one night I heard what was about to happen and I went and I snatched this dude's gun up and I pointed at him. I said, if you ever do that again, I'll blow your fucking head off. And like it still didn't stop. We had to get out of there, but yeah, it's really bad when it affects the kids. I mean, I know it's bad in general, whether there's kids involved in it or not, but that fucks children up for life, man. Those memories
For life. Yep.
I got an answer to this question. Is there any mental health conditions that have a higher chance of being associated with domestic violence?
That wasn't the question, though. The next question, I know.
The VA one?
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Okay, well, for that one, I have eating disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and common mental health problems. Or people with that were also more likely to have experienced domestic violence compared to
You said
women with
nothing
no
for this
health
one.
diagnosis.
I don't think. That question.
Damn, I was just called out like a motherfucker
Yeah.
with those answers.
So what's the next one? I got a Winnie the Pooh one, and I have
The veteran one.
okay.
That's the one I couldn't find the answer to. I was just called out like a motherfucker with those answers. Like
I feel like I'm just gonna cry.
he just literally fucking like listed my fucking mental illnesses. And I'm fat, so I eat.
I'm fat
Food is
too.
life.
Hey, I'm fat too.
Food is life. We like food.
We do.
Food is
Eat
our
burgers and
comfort.
cheesecakes all day.
Food is our comfort. We're gonna have to wrap this up here soon because I have to go get my child.
Well, thanks for having me. I don't know if I was any use or.
You did great.
I just kind of like sat here quietly.
Jen, do
trying
you
not
want to
to
share?
cry.
And do you want to share
I don't
before we
know.
join?
I feel like I'll cry if I share anything.
Well, then let's finish it around this one here because this is something I didn't know. The show Winnie the Pooh. Each character.
Wait, you got to do the veteran.
That one I can't. I'm looking for it. In 2001, there's more than 18,000 incidents of spousal abuse
For veterans?
for veterans. Yeah, that was 2001. There's nothing else really on it. Like,
I wonder why that's a hard one to find statistics on.
because it's military.
Probably.
Probably.
Oh, I've heard about the Winnie the Pooh thing before.
Tell us
Yeah.
I haven't.
That each one of the characters represents a different mental illness.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah, I've
do.
heard
So
that.
like Tigger was like ADHD. The owl was
Yep.
like illiterate.
Tell us.
Yep.
Tom.
That was
Yep.
a victim, Thomas. That was
Piglet's got anxiety.
Oh, the dear.
Yeah. Eeyore was obviously depression. He was always depressed.
I'm Eeyore.
Yeah.
I want to do my card. Eeyore, you guys.
You want a depressed donkey?
I love Eeyore.
like with a donkey.
And he likes donkeys.
Okay, so I got here. Chris Erickson, he's popped in. He says, "Hello, everyone. Thanks for sharing and bringing up this topic and or being scared to address it, and not being scared to address it." Much definitely. Thanks, Biden. So did you guys have
everyone,
anything else
thanks
on
for
that?
sharing and bringing up this topic.
That's what Dad just read.
Yeah, because I mean, we got lots of good ones and stuff here. Because like we've been noticing, like I know for another show, this is an idea. Narcissism and gaslighting.
Yes!
Is it a real thing? Is it life or is it on purpose? We should have a show about that.
Everybody has a part, like some narcissism and gaslightism, whatever you want to call it, in them.
Do you think gaslighting?
I don't even know what that is. What does that mean? What is the definition of that?
If you don't know what it means, that means you fucking gaslight everybody and you are the biggest narcissist on the earth.
Hey, don't you put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby?
I'm just kidding.
Who's that Ricky Bobby?
Put that voodoo on me.
So yes, we should do a show about that.
Yes.
And anytime any of you guys want to come back and do a show, let me know.
What are you thinking about wanting to do them? JP, LDG?
I don't know. I don't work like that. You know that. We will announce it spur of the moment, probably 2 or 3 days before I decide to do a show. I work off my son's time, not off of anybody else's.
Oh, girl, show the hand sign. Good one here, Boa.
What sign?
Hand sign to ask for help.
The hand sign to ask for help.
Yeah.
Everything's frozen.
I don't know if
No, I'm not.
they just stop moving.
I was trying to read. I had to put on my glasses.
Nice. No, I appreciate the input of people popping in. That's great too. Yeah,
No, I'm thinking probably in like 2 weeks, maybe.
I'm
Maybe.
down. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I'm available.
Shut up, you're always available. I make you schedule. Remember, I'm the aggressor here. I beat you, damn it.
That's in the
Wow.
You know how aggressive as she gets She played
That was some
Bumper
Death
Bodies
by
with me
Snoop
one
Snoop voice
time.
going on right
That's as
there.
aggressive as I've ever saw her get, was playing Bumper Bodies.
No, around here, sometimes around here, what do we call it? Belly
Belly bully. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm loud and I got a mouth on me, but I am not aggressive when it comes to my family. Get me outside with somebody else, dude. I'll whoop your fucking ass, and I don't give two shit. Don't fuck with mine. But when it comes to my family, dude, I'm not aggressive with my family whatsoever.
No.
Like, that's just not me. Like, not anymore, anyways. I used to be, but I don't have a reason to be that way. I'm not getting my ass beat all the time. Like, my
I
children
think we
are
should
in danger.
also, maybe if we're going to do this again, address the people that just because they're not abused physically, verbally still abused, or just because maybe they're not abused physically or verbally, but they are.
Yes, that's why Michael was pointing out, like, our next show we're gonna do domestic violence, but off of like narcissism
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and gaslighting, like different forms of domestic violence now, not
Yeah.
just physical domestic violence.
Because people can sit there and say, well, my boyfriend doesn't beat me, but he's sitting there not letting you go anywhere, or he's checking your phone or your accounts, or that's still a form of violence, domestic violence.
I remember
Yep.
one time I couldn't even wear open-toed shoes out of the house because my ex liked my feet wet.
I have an ex, and I'm not gonna put them on blast. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if I put them on blast because whatever. Anyways, I had an ex that used to lock all the cabinets and all the refrigerator and only pull enough groceries out for what he felt the children would need for the day while he was gone. And then he would also take all the money, and if we needed something, I would have to say, hey, the children need, say, diapers, and he would either get diapers, or if he was nice enough to give me money to get diapers, I would go get diapers, and I would have to bring him back the receipt, the money, down to the penny, and if I did not, I would get my ass beat.
See, yeah, that's a form of abuse right there.
He sounds like a C word. I'm just saying.
Like, literally down to the penny.
Yeah,
Checked
no.
mileage on the car, took my car, drove it from my job to my work, back to my work, back home, marked exactly how many mileage, so he knew I had a certain route I needed to go. If I went in any other route, I got my ass in trouble because he checked my mileage on my car. And
Yeah.
if there was any extra mileage on my car, I got my car taken away and I wasn't allowed to drive.
And people make excuses. Well, he loves me and he makes sure I get everything I need, and he just wants to make sure we can afford things. That's not what that is. That is control, and that's not okay.
Yep.
I remember anytime I get out of line,
Bless
I
you.
had an ex. If we were in public, I had an ex.
Yes,
Anytime I'd get out of line or whatever, he'd squeeze my thigh to the point to where I was covered in bruises to
my
get
God.
my attention. And I had to keep the straightest face. If I made any like different face after we left, it was an issue. And I just got it.
We got one of the resources people use to seek help of any kind. 911, the hand signal if you're online, or you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 800-273-8255. Does it have to do in Spanish too? You guys just don't want to say Spanish.
You realize
What did I do?
you just gave out that same number that I was talking shit about earlier that fucking put my uncle on hold when he blew up.
Is that the one?
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
National Suicide Hotline
So if you
that
get
likes
stuck-
to put
okay,
people on
okay.
hold.
So if you get stuck on hold, okay, it's not, oh, look, I have time to kill myself. No, you're supposed to be on hold and just breathe and relax for a second. And then when they get to you, talk to her.
No, bro, they put your ass on hold, hang up, and call back because they're obviously going to put somebody else on hold. And then when they pick up, you're like, don't put my ass on hold because you put me on hold again, I'm going to kill myself and it's going to be on your fucking hands.
Or you can just go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital. That's what you do.
Say,
True.
People you
Yeah.
trust to talk to.
But you know what? That doesn't always work. Took my kid there when he was trying to kill himself, and they saw 15 people that walked in after him. And I went over and I said, "What the hell?" And they said, "Oh, well, we forgot." I mean, you know, we forgot about him,
and say,
They always try to put you in a crisis center and then they don't help you.
Yeah.
right?
Like,
You
when
really, well,
big-
most places have crisis units you can just go check yourself into.
Yeah, not around
yeah,
here.
but
No?
Mm-mm.
Every place
know
I've
back
always
home-
worked at has crisis units you can just go check
I
yourself
don't know
into.
though. Hospitals always made me feel worse personally.
We can't
See,
even
and
get
that's
into
where I'm
mental health
different, you
around
guys.
here.
That's where I'm different. When my mental health is getting fucked up, I'm like, dude, something's not right. My meds are not working. I'm calling the doctor. My shit needs adjusted. I want my shit right. It took me a long time to become an advocate for myself and learn what was right for my body and what's not. When I'm seeing dead fucking people and I'm seeing fucking bodies hanging from my roof and I'm seeing dead fucking babies in fucking cradles along my walls that are not really fucking there, no, I need help. My meds aren't working. This is not what I want to do with my life.
I meant going and being admitted into a hospital.
If that's what it takes, dude, yes, you bet your fucking ass I will do that. Why? Because that's what it's going to take.
Mhm.
My mental health is more important than anything because I can't take care of my children. I can't take care of my house. I can't take care of my husband. I can't even take care of my health myself if my mental health is not okay. So if it gets to the point where I can't do it without checking myself in because I can't manage, because I can't get a break to be able to control the situation and manage what's going on with my mental health, you bet your ass I will tell everybody in this house I need to go check myself in. I'm checking the fuck out. I've done it before. Have I not?
who does?
I don't play when it comes to my mental health because ultimately, bottom line, I fuck around with my mental health and I take a downward spiral. I lose my son. I can't lose you. You're over 21. They can't take
Right.
you. I got a 2-year-old baby.
how
I don't
many
stay
how
on
many people
top.
here have actually done the like the mental health interviews that they have? Like when
Me?
you go to a not a crisis center, but when you go to a mental health clinic or anything like that.
Yeah.
Me, I just did one for my annual just a couple weeks
In
ago.
other words, she had me fill it out.
Do they push it to the point where they get to the suicide question where they're like, well, if you say like they push it to the point if they tell them that you're suicidal and then they give you like a scale to rate your
Yeah.
like your suicidal tendency, that they're gonna put you directly into a unit. Like they're gonna send you to a crisis unit and then basically it could be in a moment where you're not in that, like you don't feel that way, and then they put you there and then you have to serve your time and they pull you out. So then next time when you actually do feel suicidal, you don't do it because you know what it's like in that suicide
I've
unit.
done it. I've done it. It took me a long time to actually commit myself again. It really did. And even when I do commit myself, it's a long process. Like you literally sit there for hours filling out paperwork and telling what's going on over and over and over. And it's hard. And I know I have to do it because and it's my choice. Nobody makes me do it. Michael sat there with me a couple times why I've done it, and I've cried the entire time, telling him I don't want to do this. And he sat there and said, then baby, let's go home. You don't have to do this. And I told him, no, I need to do this. I need you to tell me that I need to do this, that it's okay to do this, that you're going to be okay while I do this. I don't need you to tell me that you need me to come home. I need you to tell me that you're going to be okay so I can do this. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
But it has to be done sometimes, especially when you get forced in those situations as a young child. Growing up, I have been put in those situations starting at the age of 7. Anytime things happen, whatnot, I was always forced in mental hospitals, foster cares, different things. And it was always put on my mental health. Oh, we're trying to get your mental health better. Like, this is what the doctor recommends, yada, 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 yada. So it took me a long time to even comprehend, like, anything really needed to be done because everything that was quote unquote for my mental health never even helped and always seemed to benefit everybody but me. So
How
until I
much?
changed my way of thinking and wanted better for myself, and learned to do things my own and what was gonna work for me, nothing ever fucking worked.
So even when you do commit yourself and you go to the center, like basically that doesn't help either. Because like I've been to a point where I've been to like 5 times, I think, to where I've actually had to go to like a mental health clinic. And every time since the very first time, I've had to sit in the parking lot before I go in and coach myself on what not to say because I know that they're going to try to commit me. Because every time they try to say, "Oh, well, we think that you need to go to a crisis center. Or we think we need to send you to this center."
No, it doesn't. Like the last time I committed myself, I literally was there and I stood in a corner crying the entire time, and I chose to put myself there. But I needed to get my medicine adjusted. I was
Yeah.
only there for like I think like a little over 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that. And I was mad, even though the entire time I literally stayed in a ball in the corner crying. I wouldn't even go into the room because the room was so small and it reminded me of prison and I didn't want to go into the room. Um when they told me they were releasing me because they felt like they did enough adjusting to my meds, like I was mad that they were releasing me. I didn't feel like just over or just under 48 hours with the symptoms I was having when I
Right?
checked myself in was
Yep.
enough to release me. I didn't feel like that was okay. And I was actually mad, even though the entire time I was there, all I was doing was crying.
But still, you needed that, and I think they should listen to you or us ourselves. Like, if we think we need to be there, then let us fucking be there. Because, I mean, yes, there's people that obviously don't want to be there that need to be there. But if you're saying or showing that, like signs like that you need to be there, then why are they telling you to leave? I had to leave too after like 48 hours. I'm like, the fuck, I'm not ready. You know?
Try being in jail and then going through a crisis like that.
No, fuck that, man.
Your two options are is to basically, or well, 3 options is to fight somebody in your cell if you're in pop, sit in solitary confinement and go insane until you're allowed to see the doctor, which is probably between 10 and 14 days, or they strip you naked, spray you with water, and
Yep.
strap you into a suicide chair and make you sit there until
Yeah.
you're calm enough to go back to your cell.
Yeah, that's bullshit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I remember when I was I want to say 11, 12 years old, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico in this I don't know if it was like a group home type thing. There was different levels of it. The one thing that always stuck out in my head was level 5 was to register sex offenders for minors. So that was like the one thing that always stuck out in my head. Um, where was I even going with this story? Oh, so when I was there for like the longest time, I don't even know how long I was there, but it used to become a game. And actually, this is probably where my addiction started because I learned that like watching all these people that were really, really fucking crazy. That if they acted fucking crazy, they were getting something and calming the fuck down.
Or
Like, bet, I'm gonna try something. I went off the fucking deep end, dude. Just acting a fool. Shit, your shit. People coming all directions, fucking grabbing me up, strapping me down, fucking giving me shots in the leg. Whoa, what a fucking rush that was, bro.
Right?
I was fucking hooked, dude. Every other fucking day I was throwing a fit up in that fucking bitch.
do they give you Thorazine?
I don't know what the fuck they gave me, dude. But
They
I
gave
was getting me fucking high and I was just like,
They gave you the happy applesauce, dude.
But
Right.
I really think that's really when my addictions really started happening because, and I really learned to work the system and shit back then. And it got bad. And like, I also, like, my growing up living environments weren't really the best. We won't go into that. But I also learned to work my home living environment system per se. And I also learned that if I acted out at home, that I got sent away and I didn't have to deal with the shit at home that I was going through.
Well,
So I would purposely, and I know my mother's probably going to see this video and she's probably going to have a fucking
Okay, tell him I'll be down in a second.
and a heart attack. And I love you, mother, and I'm sorry. And this is a mental health show, and I'm seeking mental health, and this is how I deal with mine. And I'm not going to say that. I'm going to keep that to myself. I love you. So, I don't know. Like, I learned to work the system really, really good. And so I learned that if I acted a fool at home, that I got sent away to mental hospitals or wherever the next fucking place was I was going to get sent away to. And then while I was in there, I learned that I could, like, behave or do whatever the fuck I needed to do, and life was not that bad. Like, I could be stable on my meds and, like, be okay, not hear my voices and not see shit. But then I also learned that if I wanted to get high, just act a fool, and I was gonna get a quick fucking high.
Yeah.
Mental illness is fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up from a young age learning how to work the system just based off watching my parents, which isn't necessarily good. But that's one of the things that I tack to. You always tack to things that your parents teach you or is around you that you end up learning. And that's one of the many bad things that I took to as a kid, was learning how to work the system, which in return my siblings figured out because I was doing it, and so they thought it was cool to do, and it's not.
I didn't even know what, like, that there were problems. People had problems with mental health until I was like probably 13 or 14 years old. Because, like, I didn't know that my mom was bipolar until like way later on in life because she didn't get diagnosed until she was older. And like, I didn't know anything about this until I started experiencing it for myself, like the things that happened to me. And then, like, when I actually read some literature on it. And so, like, that working the system thing, I don't even know what you mean besides what she had said about when she felt unsafe or whatever, she would act out to where she would get sent somewhere.
I had myself chopped up. I faked illnesses and got drugs all the time.
Yeah.
Who
And
did?
then I got drugs for depression, and then I learned I could sell those drugs for big money.
Oof.
At 13 years old, I'm selling one pill for $30, and I'm 50, so $30 for one pill when I'm 13, that many years ago,
Right.
that's like a full-time fucking job selling one pill a day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then I could go out and buy other drugs, and I've had a prescription since I was 12 years old for anything and everything. I used to carry a suitcase, Samsonite, actually, full of a pill for anything and everything.
Right.
Crazy.
That's insane.
I just used the pain pill. That was the one pain. That was the one pill that would cure everything. Oh, I have a cough. I'm gonna take a Vicodin. Oh, I got a achy knee. I'm gonna take an Oxy. Like, oh, I feel like sad today. Okay, let's take another pill. Fuck it. Okay, too cool.
Well, yeah.
10 pills a day, like fucking ain't nothing.
You're fucking stoned, bro.
Read.
You look fucking blown the fuck away right
No,
now.
that's because I made that concoction earlier
Uh-huh.
with that tincture and the Mango juicy juice.
All right, guys. So I know I said this earlier, but now I am 30 minutes late from picking up my child. Luckily, the person that has my child is also the person commenting in the comments, so I know my child is okay. He is. He's redirecting and throw the rocks into the fire barrel because he's trying to throw rocks at people in cars right now. Because I got a tiny little terrorist. So I'm gonna hand this back over to Mr. Gonzo, DJ Gonzo. He's gonna wrap this up. But we will be back in 2 weeks with another domestic violence show about narcissists and gaslighting.
Okay, guys, I got somebody waiting for me outside, I guess. So I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for joining, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
too.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Josh. JP, you got happy ass up there. All right, much love, gentlemen. Till the next time, yeah?
Adios.
Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Yo.
You guys need to thank me for wearing a shirt. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying thank you for. What are you even talking about?
Wait, who wanted to see a nipple earlier? Where's Nasty Nate? He can see his nipple now. Josh, lift up your shirt. Lift your shirt up. Yes, you're about to give me some promo right now. I'm going to tell this dude to watch this show and he gets to see nipples at the end of the show.
Wait a minute, Josh.
Did you see it?
No, I
Did you
didn't.
see it?
I didn't see no nipple jack. Wow, nipples!
All right, y'all.
So, like, he kept asking to see nipples earlier, and I told him he had to pay for them.
Well, shit, tell him to cash at me my money.
Oh, you don't know about the third that I got to take out of that phone.
All right, y'all. I'm out.
All
All
right,
right.
Bye.
bye. JP's still over there waving at us. You guys froze. Yeah.
Peace out, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Bye, Josh.
Hey,
Or
it's
JP.
not having you on. You're supposed to be on. This is your guys'
Yeah,
show.
this is your show.
You
What the
guys
fuck are
did
you
amazing.
talking about?
You guys did amazing.
Send homeboy $1 on Cash
I
App.
don't know. I came on cash out.
Oh, damn it.
I'll ask him.
Wait. I'm going to do it this way. Hold on.